All right, welcome to episode 2 of the Little Chip Podcast. Fun. All right, welcome back to the podcast. Once again, I'm your host, Cayla.
And I'm your host, Andrea.
So, for this week's episode, one of our topics or ideas was to talk about mother-daughter duos. And as we were curating the list of mother-daughter duos that we know, my first one was Kris Jenner and Kim Kardashian. I think they're a pretty iconic mother-daughter duo. And that led me to a question that I have for you, Mom.
Okay, ask away.
Would you sell my sex tape if it meant fame, fortune, and a 14-year successful reality TV show?
Oh my God, no.
That's it?
No.
Really?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh God. Wait, okay, so I really don't even know the full, obviously it's out there, right? That sex tape, or it was out there.
Yeah.
But I don't know the full details. Is that even really true?
I mean, who really knows? But it's always been rumored that, like, the saying has always been the devil works hard, but Kris Jenner works harder. And simply because of the fact that she is 17,000 steps ahead of everybody else.
Yeah.
In terms of, like, building these empires for her daughters. So, but, like, you know, the Kardashian fame started with that.
Yeah.
So that led me to my question is, if it meant that we would have fame, fortune, and a lifelong security monetarily, would you
No.
solicit my sex tape?
Hell to the no. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't. No, I would just, no, I couldn't.
Okay, fair answer.
Fair. Yeah,
Wow.
okay. Speaking of mother-daughter duos, I did think of one that you may not know. And it's not a real-life mother-daughter duo, but it's a mother-daughter duo in movies, which I don't even know if you've ever really seen. Steel Magnolias, the movie.
No, I've never seen it. I know.
Malin and Shelby.
Okay, well, tell me about them.
Mother-daughter, it's Sally Field and Julia Roberts, and one of Julia Roberts, like one of her breakout roles or whatever. But they also have conflict in that movie, and I think you need to watch it, because there's a moment in time where, like, Malin thinks she knows what's best for Shelby, but Shelby's
the daughter?
Yeah, Shelby's the daughter. Malin is the mom. And there's a point in the movie where, you know, they have some disagreements and stuff, but Malin has good intentions, and it really is such a, you have to watch the movie, because I don't want to give you any spoilers. Do you even know anything about this movie?
No.
Okay. Oh God. You got to watch it.
Okay.
And when you watch it, you're going to be like, oh my God, this is so old. It's going to look old.
Yeah.
Because it was from a long time ago, but it's a very, very good movie. And there's a lot of strong women in it, and I think you should watch it.
Well, another mother-daughter duo I just thought of right now, because I feel like in certain ways we can relate, and it was on when I walked in today, is Moira and Alexis Rose.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I feel like,
love them.
Yeah, very iconic duo.
Yes.
But anyway, that was just what I thought about. But
that is a great one.
I know, but we're not like,
because I feel like they're so honest with each other.
Yeah, and they're like brutally honest. They're like kind of mean to each other sometimes.
But in a loving way, because when they need to love each other, they do. They love it on each other.
Have you gotten to the episode where Alexis is auditioning for the play, and she sings a little bit Alexis?
Oh gosh, I don't know. What season is that?
I don't remember. It's like a later season. It might be season 3. But anyway, I feel like that whole scene and that scenario is like something that would happen between you and I.
I need to go back, because I'm
really
not sure
funny.
I remember that.
It might be after season 3. I honestly don't remember. But anyway, that's like one of my favorite scenes, because she has like an original song called A Little Bit Alexis, and she's like super dramatic and can't sing for shit, and like it's really funny. But anyway,
by the way, speaking of dramatics,
oh God,
I think, well, what
we
are both dramatic.
Oh, we are dramatic.
So you might listeners, y'all might hear some really dramatic noises like, what? Oh my God. Like, yeah, we're very dramatic.
Well, the sudden and obnoxious almost gasping is always from you because you have the most dramatic reactions to things, and like you gasp in a way that it like shocks the rest of the room like more than whatever the chisme was. Like,
yeah.
What?
Like that.
Oh, like that. Exactly. Stupid A. So yeah, you're definitely one of your reactions are sometimes more dramatic than the story that's being told, which then makes it more dramatic. So it's like it's kind of like those people who their laugh is funnier than the joke.
Yeah, you
like
start laughing because they're laughing.
Yeah, like your gasp is more dramatic than the story, so it just makes the whole situation more dramatic. But also, I do want to say though, I am like overly dramatic about everything because I have two very dramatic parents. Like there's no, and it's so, it's like funny, but also like y'all think that the other one is the most dramatic of the two of you, but you're both severely dramatic in your own way. So it just like, it trickled down to me, and now I am super dramatic. Yeah, and Kimberly reminds me daily of how dramatic I am.
I like to say that Dad and I are very passionate about whatever it is.
Sure.
Whatever topic it is, whatever we're doing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, we're dramatic. Okay, I'll admit, we're dramatic.
We are a dramatic family.
Which is fine. Makes things interesting.
It does keep things interesting, that's for sure. What else happened? I had COVID.
Oh, no. Hold on.
Oh.
Wait. Sorry. Just a little backtrack, because you did mention a mother-daughter duo that I thought was like one of my favorite mother-daughter duos, which was Debbie Reynolds and Carrie Fisher.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're
okay. I have a question about this then, because I think it could be very generational. Debbie Reynolds, what is the movie that you associate with Debbie Reynolds?
I don't.
Oh.
Because that's even before me. I more relate to Carrie Fisher because when I was little, she was Princess Leia.
Awkward, because I more relate to Debbie Reynolds.
That's
because weird. She is Grandma Aggie in the Halloween Town movies that were on Disney Channel.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's why I was asking, because I was like, what movie would you associate her with? But
I wouldn't, to be honest with you, because when I was little, I used to make my mom give me Princess Leia buns on the side of my head, like Carrie Fisher had in Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back. So I relate more to Carrie Fisher, but I also have read so much and heard so much about her relationship with her mom, and they were like such a strong bond, and the fact that they left this world a day apart from each other says a lot.
Do you think we'll leave this world a day apart from each other?
God, I hope not. I want you to live for a long time.
Also,
hello.
I think is it Carrie Fisher's daughter? Is her daughter Billie Lourd? She's related to them somehow. She's also an actress now.
Yeah.
But she is a really good actress also. Speaking of good actresses, me and Charlie were watching this show. American Horror Story has like the seasons.
Right.
But then they made a new season called American Horror Stories, plural. Mm-hmm. And every episode is a different storyline. And we watched this season, and a couple of the episodes are about like the murder house that's from season 1 of American Horror Story. But there was a girl, an actress on the show, and I was like, why does she look so familiar? I could not like put the name to the face. And then the credits started rolling, and it said whatever the character's name was, played by Paris Jackson.
Paris
Jackson. And she did such a good job.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to have to watch that.
Yeah, and it was really crazy. But anyway, that was just sidebar. But
ooh, maybe next time we should talk about father-daughter duos.
We should get Dad on an episode.
Yeah.
And talk about father-daughter duos.
Yeah. He's probably going to mention something that you don't even know. He's going to be like, Gene Simmons and...
Yeah.
He's going to be like, Neil Peart And yeah, it's all going to be rock people.
But anyway, so
okay, that was good.
Back to it. I had COVID. Dramatically, I had COVID.
Not you. You were not the only dramatic person. It was also Dad.
Oh, well, yeah, Dad had it first, and and
he's vaccinated. By the way,
yeah, we're all vaccinated, but backtracking a little bit more, the three of us, plus your two sisters, we went to Vegas, and the night that I got to Vegas, there was still no mask rule, but at midnight the mask rule was in effect, and so we had to wear masks the rest of the weekend, right? Which was, I mean, it was annoying, but like,
fine.
That's what we had to do.
Yeah, it was whatever.
So we get home from Vegas and everything's fine. Dad starts not feeling good. And again, we're all vaccinated, so that's like the positive in all this. But anyway, he ended up testing positive. He had COVID. He was quarantining, yada, yada. I came over on a day that was like a day or two before Dad's quarantine was up. And then that night, I went downtown to Brass Monkey with some friends.
Yeah,
which the
Brass
combination.
Monkey, hey, give some background on Brass Monkey.
I don't even know the background on Brass Monkey, other than
it's a club on St. Mary Street. That's what I'm saying.
It's a club on St. Mary Street, and it was 80s/90s night, so I was having the time of my life. They played Bohemian Rhapsody, and it shut the place down. Everybody was screaming that song at the top of their lungs. It was great. Anyway, I was also completely sober. I was
one of the funnest places in San Antonio.
You know, Charlie hates it.
Why?
I don't know. He like hates it, but he was like, I cannot imagine your mom like at Brass Monkey. And I was like, honestly, me being there that night, I
showed him some pics.
Okay, well, also for listeners, Charlie's my roommate. But anyway, so anyway, we went to Brass Monkey, and then within the next couple of days after Brass Monkey, Charlie started not feeling good first, and it's kind of like the placebo effect situation where like he wasn't feeling good, but then, or not the placebo effect, what's it called? Hypochondriac?
Yeah, like, I don't know what you're getting at.
Like, because he started not feeling good, I started not feeling good.
Yeah, it's like psychological.
Yeah.
You're like, wait a minute, do I feel bad too?
And I felt like I had like nasal drip, which is like, sorry, TMI chip basket team, but oh yeah, by the way, listeners, we're calling y'all the chip basket because we're one big happy family of chips out here. Anyway, so I started feeling like having nasal drip, yada, yada. Charlie started coughing and sneezing, and he literally did not move from the couch for 2 whole days.
Yeah.
And he was just like really sick. And then I also got really sick. And to mention at the moment, me and Charlie are in a 1-bedroom apartment. We're moving into a 2-bedroom in a couple of weeks, but for the time being, we are in a 1-bedroom. So
how many square feet?
Like probably not even 800 square feet. And he's like the best roommate I've ever had, so it's like not even a big deal. I thought that sharing a bathroom with a guy was going to be way worse, but the good news is we also both lost our taste and smell. So if there have been any weird smells going on in the house, neither one of us know. But it is like crowded because it's me, Charlie, my dog, and my cat is a crackhead, so there's just like a lot happening. But anyway, so yeah, we had to quarantine.
Which honestly, I'm so thankful that Charlie was in your apartment.
Absolutely, I'm so thankful that he's there too, because it makes me feel safer that I have a roommate.
Yeah,
like even before.
Well, and then you weren't quarantining by yourself.
Yeah, but like even before he started like staying with me, when I was just there completely by myself, like I was like kind of terrified like every night.
Which is weird because you lived by yourself in Corpus.
Yeah, but I was also on the second.
And that was a sketchy. Every time I was there, every time I went to see Cayla at her apartment in Corpus,
we saw a dead body being rolled out.
Yes, yeah. I was like, what is going on? Like literally one day that we were there, the ambulance showed up again, and I'm like, what's going on now? And they literally rolled this guy out on a stretcher and had the like automatic chest compression machine on him, and they're just rolling him out like super cash,
taking their time,
which is fine. But I was like, Cayla and I are looking down from her balcony, and I'm like, oh, that guy's dead.
Well,
Like,
that's why they were taking their time.
yeah, I was like, he's dead, even though they have the...
His toenails were white.
Oh, yeah, his whole body was white. And I
Yeah.
was like, they're just going through the motions now. But that guy was dead.
It was crazy. No, yeah. The apartment
Yeah.
I lived in Corpus definitely wasn't the greatest, but for some reason I felt okay there. I was also on the second floor, so I felt like a little bit better. Like nobody's going to climb through my... I also had a screened-in balcony, so I felt like... I don't know. I just felt safer. But anyway, not that I... Also, the thing about...
we went on a tangent.
Yeah,
there,
sorry.
so-
Also about this apartment that I'm in San Antonio, I'm at the very back of the complex, and I hear weird noises, and I have neighbors that I'm pretty sure are doing drugs.
And there's a big wooded area right behind your apartment.
Yeah, and all of it is just a little bit scary. And so I'm really thankful that like Charlie's staying with me, and also thankful that we're moving into a 2-bedroom because there's way more room in the 2-bedroom.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be nicer. But anyway, yeah, so back to COVID. We had to quarantine for 10 days, which again, like I said, I thought was going to be hell for both Charlie and I. And it actually was like pretty fine. We watched a ton of movies. We went to bed pretty early every night. And like, I guess part of the thing that saved us both was we were asleep most of the time.
Day or night.
Yeah, because we were just trying to sleep it off. And,
Yeah.
But it was literally the worst I've ever felt. At one point, I like jokingly said that I had COVID pneumonia, and then it sent you into a slight panic. I just felt I've never felt that sick before. I felt worse than the night that I came here crying when I got the vaccine.
Well, because for most of your life, you've been pretty darn healthy. You never had ear infections. I remember the first ear infection you ever had was swimmer's ear, and that was from being in a swimming pool.
I remember that. Or the lake.
Yeah. Other than that, you were hardly ever sick. And I don't know what, maybe it was the breastfeeding. I mean, I did.
All right.
I mean, I did breastfeed you for at least 6 months. And that
People are breastfeeding for like 2 years now.
I know. I couldn't do it more than 6 months. I was done at 6 months.
Well,
no, please don't judge.
Yeah.
But whatever. At 6 months, I was like, okay, you gotta go.
Yeah. No.
Anyways, but long story short, you hardly ever got sick. So I don't know.
Well,
even when you were a young child, like you got strep throat, but you would always complain of something completely, totally opposite of.
I was just gonna say, whenever I had strep throat like quite a bit growing up, but
Well, that's why you had your tonsils out.
Yeah, but I never had the typical strep symptoms.
Yeah, which
is weird.
Yeah.
But excuse me.
Hello.
Sorry, still trying to get over it. That one came out of nowhere. But anyway.
Let it out.
Yeah, so Charlie and I quarantined for 10 days. We watched a lot of movies. We slept a lot. It was really rough. I took 2 days off of work because even though I work from home, just physically sitting at my desk chair and looking at the computer screen in front of me made me want to throw up violently because I was like, I cannot do this. It was horrible. We did lose our taste and smell, which it's just the weirdest sensation to like not have your taste and smell. And Charlie described it really, really well. He was like, it's like when you eat food but you don't have taste, all you get is like the genre of food you're eating. Like I was eating peanut butter, and because I could like feel the peanut butter on my tongue, it's like I was imagining the taste of peanut butter, but I wasn't actually tasting peanut butter.
That's so weird.
It was so weird. And I will say, like, the smell thing, like, it came in handy because, like I said, sharing a bathroom with a guy and stuff like that. If there was any reason for there to be weird smells going on, we didn't know. And it's totally... And Charlie did bring that up one day. He was like, at least we can't smell. And I was like, but what if we both smell really bad? Like, even though we're showering, like, what if we both smell super bad and we don't know?
That's funny.
But I put like my cat in my face to try to smell her, and like Maggie, and like I was doing anything I possibly could to try to bring back the sensation of smell, and nothing worked. So anyway, we're clear now. Everything's good.
Yeah, everybody's better.
Both of us still have like a slight cough. And I sound nasally, but I'm not like, I don't have any reason to sound nasally. I just still sound like this.
Yeah.
But
a little lingering.
But it's fine. I did have...
And I, however...
I don't know how you do it, because you, first of all, worked in a hospital. You've probably been around COVID more than any of us.
I had tons of COVID patients.
Tons of COVID patients.
Over the last year and a half.
You are vaccinated, so like obviously that helps. But like throughout this whole pandemic, and your husband who you sleep next to every night, and then your daughter having COVID, you never got it.
I don't know how to attribute that to anything else other than I had been working in a hospital for almost 20 years, and I've probably been exposed to everything under the sun. And so all I can say is I feel like maybe my immune system is really strong. And I mean, obviously I did get vaccinated also. I got my vaccination in the first round when they were offering it to healthcare workers. So my second dose was in January of 2020. No, I'm sorry, 2021. Sorry. No,
Yeah.
wait. Yeah, 2021. Sorry. And so I don't know, because I didn't really isolate myself away from Dad, and he was coughing up a storm, and I was just following him with the Lysol can, like spraying the air. But other than that, yeah, I don't know. I just am very blessed, I guess.
Yeah,
with a
the
good immune
amount of
system.
Lysol that has been sprayed in my apartment, like literally one day every hour we were spraying doorknobs and the couch, and Maggie was asleep on the couch, so we had to spray like around Maggie. Like it was insane. Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't, because you said you had Lysol, but I thought you just had the wipes, so I wasn't sure if you were actually like spraying the air.
No, we had the spray, and the day that Charlie brought the can of Lysol home, he literally coughed into the air and then sprayed it with Lysol. It was so funny. He was like, watch this. It was really funny.
I did the same thing though. With Dad would be on the couch and he would cough, and I would just walk over there and spray like all the air right around where he coughed, and I'm like, I was like, either I'm gonna get it or I'm not. And
it's not to say that you didn't get it, but if you did, you didn't have any symptoms.
Right, absolutely. Know? Like either I didn't have symptoms,
and you and Dad quarantined together, so.
And I've had it before, or I don't know. I really don't know.
But. Yeah, but it was really, really horrible, and I've never felt that way in my whole life. And I also haven't been sick in a really long time.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah, so it was just like a whole shock to my body. And luckily, my job was really flexible, and I was like, look, I got COVID. And they were like, take however long you need to like heal and get better. And I was like, see y'all in a week. But I mean, I only took 2 days off. But yeah, so get vaccinated if you have the opportunity. Because Charlie is not vaccinated yet. And I am. And we had very different experiences with COVID. I feel like Charlie was definitely way worse than me.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I mean, the first 2 days, he literally like did not leave the couch, and I like literally had to like stare at him to make sure he was breathing at one point, because I was like, oh my gosh, it was really bad. But anyway, on to the next thing. We were talking about mother-daughter duos, and I just want to bring up the fact that there is a show called Smothered. And I have never seen the show. I've seen previews. But
it scares me.
It's terrifying.
Yes.
I used to, when I first heard the premise of the show, for anybody who doesn't know the premise of the show, it's basically mother-daughter duos who have like a really unhealthy bond and relationship, like to the point where,
in our opinion,
yes. But also like, and it's not like famous mother-daughters, it's just like normal, like me and you,
right?
Mother-daughters. Except I think we're famous. Just kidding. But anyway, it's basically these mother-daughter duos who are like obsessed with each other.
Yeah.
Would you say? Like
they
like one of them, I know for a fact in the preview, like the mom and the daughter live together because they can't be apart from each other.
Yeah.
Like physically cannot be apart from each other. They like freak out.
Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, in my opinion, it's a little unhealthy.
I think it's very unhealthy.
Yeah.
But I remember when I first saw like that there was going to be a show like that, I was like, oh, me and mom should be on that. But then I watched the preview and I was like, absolutely not. I was like,
No.
there is no way in hell that we would be on that show because it's to another extreme.
It is. In fact, to the extreme where it, which brings us to another subject, which is your love language and my love language. Because the previews that I've seen, the moms and daughters are like so physical with each other.
Ugh.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
And so Cayla's love language, if you guys have ever heard of the 5 love languages, it's a really good book. The original one, I think, was meant more for relationships between adult people. But there is one that is the 5. I did read
It's like for the singles. There's like one that's for singles.
Oh, I don't know. Well, okay. So when Dad and I were separated, we did read the 5 love languages of just, the original 5 love languages book. And then there was one called 5 love languages of kids or kids love languages. What's going on? Okay. Anyways, so there is an online test that you can take and, it gives a little questionnaire or whatever and you can find out what your love language is. But Cayla's love language.
I have taken this love language test at this point in life 10 times.
And it's all the same.
So many times. And my love language is everything except physical touch. When I take that test, my results are always 3% physical touch, maybe 6 to 7% receiving gifts. Everything else, words of affirmation, quality time, and
I don't remember.
Acts of service.
Acts of service.
Those 3 are always super high.
Yeah.
Receiving gifts and physical touch are always below 10%. Physical touch being less than 5% every time. It's just not for me.
It's weird. It's so weird because
not to be punny, but I feel smothered. Oh. Not by you, but just physical touch in general makes me feel smothered. When there's people in my bubble and really close to my face, something about people being really close to my face makes me ugh. That's all I can use to describe it.
So they're stepping inside your
my bubble.
Yeah, okay. Well, and my mom can tell you this too, but since I was a little girl, I have always been a hugger. I like to hug. And I don't care if I'm just meeting you for the first time or if you're a long lost friend that I haven't seen in forever, but I am a hugger.
Yeah.
And COVID has been really hard because I even like to hug my coworkers.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, some of them will tell you because I don't see them for now that I'm working from home, some of them I don't see for quite a while. And then when I see them, I'm so happy to see them. And I just want to hug them and squeeze them and just make them feel loved. And I don't know, that maybe that's the way I feel loved and that's why it's my love language. But I've never taken the test that many times. Like you said, you've taken it.
It's because
I wouldn't know even my percentage on anything.
Well, yeah, every year or so, I feel like maybe this is the year that my physical touch number changes. No, never. It never changes.
Well, I'm sorry because I love to hug you.
Well, and
I'm a hugger. Oh, I'm such a hugger.
I read this statistic, and this could be wrong, but it said that the human body needs 8 hugs a day for maintenance, 12 hugs a day for growth. And it kind of blew my mind because I was like, there's no way I hug one person 8 times a day.
Maybe that's why you didn't grow.
Not that kind of growth.
You are weird.
But when I lived with a bunch of girl roommates in Corpus, I feel like we were pretty gave each other hugs every now and then. But then I moved into a house with a bunch of guys, and I'm not gonna be like, Charlie, I need 8 hugs a day for me. He'll probably punch me in the face. That's just not how it works.
Well, I don't get 8 hugs a day, but that's
no. But you and Dad are all over each other all the time.
Oh my God, no, we're not. No, we're not. Oh my gosh. You just think we are.
You are. But anyways, yeah, so...
No, but you know what? Maybe Dad's love language, and I don't remember what his is, but
physical touch.
Oh, we're both physical touch?
Absolutely, y'all are both physical touch.
Okay. Well, that explains it. I mean, because sometimes we still hold hands.
like teenagers, like you're trying to hide it, like like
No,
under the blanket on a couch.
We're not trying to hide it. We never hide it. But I mean, even at night, like we reach for each other. Hey, good night, good night. You know, you roll over to your side, I go to my side, but we're still like
big toe on the leg.
Yeah, anything. So I guess we're both physical touch.
Because I will say too, like
I'm not a big presents person. I really
neither.
don't. I don't have to have gifts, and I don't have to have like, I don't know. Acts of service.
Do you need reassurance, like words of affirmation? But you get but I think that also might be one of Dad's love languages, because he always, like, every single day tells you that you're beautiful and that he loves you and stuff like that.
And that is amazing. Like,
yeah, not a lot of people get that.
I know, and I'm very blessed.
Me and Kimberly always make jokes about the big toe on the leg thing at night, because, like, me and Kimberly, neither one of us, well, Kimberly's pretty affectionate, but I'm, like, super not. But when we're sleeping, both of us are like, I don't want to be touched by another person while I'm sleeping.
Get away from me.
And she's always like, except for my big toe. Like, I just want my big toe on their leg. And it also reminds me of, like, growing up when Dad would be out of town and I would, like, sleep in your room with you. You are a chronic leg twister. Like, you like to twist your legs in between other people's legs, and I can't stand it. Oh, and I would be like, get away from me. It's just
and I would be like, no, give me your leg, just one leg. I just want one of your legs.
But then you'd like rub your leg on my leg, and then you'd be like, ew, prickly, like, you need to shave. And I'm like, then get your leg away from me. Like, I don't know what you want. But
that's funny.
But yeah, a part of this like whole love language thing too is when you're growing up with your mom, it's always like a mother-child relationship, and then when you as a child become an adult, you then have to re-meet your parents as adults, which I learned. I really like, me on my own would have never come up with this like term. This is from therapy.
Oh gosh.
But and when this like idea was first brought to me in therapy, it wasn't regarding me and my parents. It was regarding me and another person who we're not going to talk about. But it was like, you spent this time together. Regarding me and the person that it was originally about, it was me and this person spent so much time together as a child, like as children or like young kids. And then we were separated for a period of time, and then we came back to each other, and now you have to meet people over again, no matter how long you've known them. And I think the same thing goes with your parents. Like, once you're an adult child, like you are a mom who has an adult child, me.
Yeah.
Once I became an adult, I became my own person. You know, like, I was no longer
Chris and Andrea's daughter.
Yeah, like, I became
Well,
Cayla.
I mean, you're still our daughter.
Yeah, but I also, like, found my own identity. I'm still finding my own identity, hence the mini identity crisis.
By the way, I am too.
Yeah, I mean, it's like never ending.
Yeah, it is never ending.
Like, I mean, hence the mini identity crises I have now had at 23. But you have to, like, re-meet your people, which is so strange, especially for, like, us, because, again, like, we've known each other
since you were born?
My whole life. Yeah, 23 years and 23 and almost a half years on this earth. Like, so, and that goes back to what we were saying in the first episode too, about why we wanted to start this podcast, is it's going to be very therapeutic for us to re-meet each other in this like controlled environment, in this like protected space. But it is weird to think about.
Well, I think when you get older, you also realize that, because when you're growing up, you think your parents know everything, and we absolutely do not know anything, to be honest with you. We're just going off how we were raised, and then like what we learned along the way and all that stuff. But at some point you do realize, because you think your parents are invincible, and they're really not. Mm-hmm. And we are human too. We make mistakes. And that is really, it's a crushing thing. It can be crushing, I think, sometimes, to realize, oh my God, but to realize that your parents made mistakes and they're not perfect. And for some people, I think that can be devastating. Like, wow, like, this is what I thought it was is not what it was. But at the same time, then you can also learn to be like, okay, like I can forgive for this or for that or whatever it was. But yeah, also as a parent, having to step back and say like, oh God, my kid is an adult now. I don't need to give a word on every single situation. And I've tried to be really conscious of that. I think Dad is getting a lot better at that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But at first, I think I was the better one at first because I was like, okay, I need to think about Cayla. Because I remember when you first went to college too, and you would call and be like, hey, can I go to this party tonight? And
I know.
And I was like, yeah.
Well,
like you can go to a party, like, or, you know, as long as you know you're being safe, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, Cayla, like you're in college now. You can go do your thing. Obviously, I don't want anything to happen to you, and I want you to be safe, and I want you to be with friends and in a safe environment. But at the same time, I remember also you having a hard time separating, like, oh, I got to ask my mom and dad.
Well, part of my issue in college is that y'all were still financially supporting me. I mean, I had jobs, like I worked in college. I worked like in retail, and I worked at a gym, and I was coaching volleyball and all that. So I was making like my own money, but y'all were paying my rent. You were paying for school, other like whatever FAFSA didn't cover, y'all were paying. You were paying for my car, like my gas and all that. And so I just felt responsible. Well, not responsible, but not obligated. I just felt like I still needed y'all's permission to do things because some of the things that I was doing involved using some of y'all's money.
Yeah.
And using my car that y'all pay for.
Thank you. That's very respectful.
Well, yeah, because I mean, I watched kids that I went to college with just like completely trash their parents and like really take advantage of the fact that mom and dad were paying for school and that mom and dad were sending money to support their drug habits, basically. Right. Like I watched that happen, and I feel like I'm a great kid. And that was not what I wanted to do. And so I did for a while feel like I needed to ask permission. And then it came to a point where I was like, I'm now, probably when I was like 21, I was like, why am I asking my parents for permission? Like, it makes no sense. And then
I was kind of the same way too. Like, okay, that's nice. But at the same time, I wanted you to feel some independence. I didn't want you to feel like you had to call us for everything. Yeah, and eventually I stopped calling for things. I mean, I called, but like not till I stopped asking for permission. It was more, I've kind of got it in my head at a certain point, and I don't mean this in like a disrespectful way, but I got to a point where I was like, ask for forgiveness, not permission. No. So like I would just go do things, and if it got me in trouble, I would be like, I'm sorry, like ask for the forgiveness. I wasn't doing anything that warranted me needing to ask for forgiveness that deeply, but yeah, there were like things that I would just go do because I was 21 and I was almost done with college, and I can do what I damn well please at that point. So but it definitely was like an adjustment for me as well to figure that out. And well, I mean, and it's not just an adjustment for you, it was an adjustment for us too. Like it was hard. It was really hard. For me, it was hard. Yeah. Well, and going back to the way Dad is, I guess, he's definitely gotten way better at like staying out of my business. And I don't mean that in a rude way, but there was a point in time where like I just felt like I had to inform Dad of everything I was doing because a lot of it involved money that was given to me by y'all. And we've had like conversations on this like outside of this podcast, obviously a lot, but it was just like hard. But you know, then once I moved to San Antonio when I graduated and I got the job that I have now, that's when I really felt like I don't have to tell them anything. No, you don't. But I am still like a very honest, like open kid, and I do tell y'all probably more than you need to know. Well, I probably tell the world more than than they need to know too. But yeah, it was just, I'm kind of an open book sometimes. Yeah, you definitely are. Well, you also can like be friends with like you don't know a stranger. That's kind of true. And you'll like tell your life story to a lady you met at the bar or something. Like well, because you know what? Everybody has a story, and I just feel like my story may not be, well, it's my story, but also, like, everybody has one, and I don't think anybody should judge another person for basically anything.
Yeah.
There should be no judgment.
And no judgments, no.
And there you go.
We did have a question get sent in, but I have no like grounds for answering this question because I am only 23. But the question was, WTF is up with hot flashes?
Oh my gosh. Okay, hot flashes. Well, let me tell you, they will start a coming in your 40s probably. Oh my God. So it is a constant struggle right now at night with Dad and I because Dad wants to keep the temp like at, I don't know. I don't even know what it goes down to at night. Maybe 72? I don't even know.
That's what I keep my house at during the day.
No. Ours is like at 74. And then around midnight, if I feel like getting out of bed, if I'm that miserable, I will go and turn it down to 69. Because I know in the morning it'll automatically go back to like the daytime, which is 74. And I know Dad gets cold, but the thing is, he's sleeping comfortably and I'm not because I'm freaking hot as hell.
Having hot flashes.
Oh my God, yes. And I'll be like, oh my God, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. Like I'm sweating. I'm taking off clothes. I'm just like, I can't do it. I can't.
It's just so funny that you mentioned the fact that the thermometer or the thermostat goes back up to 74 in the morning because it's like every child's worst nightmare. Like the dad that's like, don't touch the thermostat.
Yeah, I know.
And growing up, that's exactly how Dad was.
Oh God.
Don't touch the thermostat. Don't leave the doors open. Yeah. But I will say
it's such a struggle.
Well, while I was having COVID, the reason I thought that I had COVID pneumonia was because I kept having night sweats, like hard, intense night sweats.
And then you Googled it.
And then I Googled it. And, you know, when you Google WebMD about anything, you automatically have a giant brain tumor and you're dying tomorrow. So I Googled night sweats, COVID night sweats. That's what I Googled because I was like, something's not right. And literally the first thing that popped up was night sweats while having COVID is the first symptom of COVID pneumonia.
Oh,
and I was like, that's it, I'm dying. Because then I was like, I've had pneummonia before. Remember I had walking pneumonia as a kid?
Yeah, that's right.
And
that one time that you were sick and you didn't even know it.
Yeah, until I got out of bed and like couldn't walk. Yeah. And I was like, help, I need to go to the doctor. But yeah, so that's why I thought that I had pneumonia. But I'm glad that...
Hold on. When you were having those night sweats, did you feel hot? Like, were you throwing blankets
It wasn't like... Yes, it wasn't like I had a fever and it was breaking and I was sweating. It was like I was hot as all get out and I could not get comfortable. And I had to like rip the blankets off. And it was... If I didn't have another human sleeping in my 1-bedroom apartment, I would have just slept naked. Because like I could not get... Like I couldn't cool off enough.
Welcome to my life.
Well, yeah. I guess that's just a look into my 40s then, huh?
Yeah. And Dad wonders why I get up cranky sometimes. I'm like, because the AC was on 72 and I couldn't turn it down to 69. And yeah.
I also have both fans in my house going at full speed all the time.
Okay, ours is not at full speed, but I mean, it is a struggle though, because it like one moment you're hot, then the next moment it's like, oh, now my hot flash went away and now I'm like
chilly.
Yes, gotta put the blankets back on. And then like an hour later it's like, what the F? I'm hot again. I gotta throw these off. It's constant. I'm not complaining though. I'm not complaining. I'm just, it ruins my sleep. And I know now why, like, they talk about, like, sleep disturbances in menopausal women. And I'm not menopausal. I'm, like, perimenopausal because perimenopause apparently can start 10 years before you actually go into menopause. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So ridiculous what women go through. Ugh. Anyways.
But do you only get hot flashes at night? Or do you get them during the day?
Really, only at night. It's really weird.
Interesting. And do you have Brooklyn and sheets on your bed? It's a serious question.
Yes, full disclosure. Well, okay, I have 2 sets of the Sleep Number sheets because that's what I bought when we got our Sleep Number bed.
That wasn't my question.
I have 1 good set of the Brooklinen, which are the best if you have hot flashes, because whatever their sheets are made of
they're so cooling.
They're amazing. Amazing. And I'm gonna have
Brooklinen
to get
sponsor us.
Brooklinen, yes,
sponsor us.
Amazing sheets, and they started making the extra long twin because like Dad and I have the Sleep Number that's split all the way down the middle, and so it's extra long twin. And when they started making those, I bought a set right away because I was like, we need those, and they're so good.
I want to buy another set of Brooklinen because I don't know what happened to Maggie, but she like bled in her sleep one night, and it like got on my sheets, and so I now have a little stain.
The white sheets or the pink sheets?
The cream ones that you got me. And I can't put the pink sheets on my bed because it looks like a 4-year-old designed my bedroom. But yeah, so I need to get another set. But those really are the best sheets. I was just wondering if you get them during the day ever or not. But
every now and then, but maybe I don't realize it as much during the day. I don't know. It's weird.
Well, in other news, the fall menu is back at Starbucks, and it's been back for like a week now, I think, or so.
Something like that.
But it's the most magical time of the year.
Okay, so which one did you have today?
I had the pumpkin cream cold brew.
Oh.
With the pumpkin cream cold foam. And the only reason that I got that one, I've had that one before, but I got that one because I wasn't sure if my taste was going to be back yet.
Oh.
And I didn't want to try the new apple crisp macchiato if I couldn't taste it properly. So I might try that one again, or like I might go back and try that one later in the season when I have full taste and smell back. But yeah, pumpkin cream cold brew was delish.
Confession, I have not had a PSL from Starbucks in like 5 years.
That's not that I feel like the thing with pumpkin spice lattes, they're delicious, but they're also very rich.
Yeah,
in my opinion. And you're not a huge sweets person.
Ugh,
so it definitely.
But I used to like them.
Yeah, I mean they're definitely really good.
Yeah.
But like, you know, people are making like insane Starbucks drinks recipes. Like, I would like a venti PSL with 4 pumps of cinnamon dolce, and I want vanilla cream cold foam with strawberries whipped in it. Like, it's just people are getting crazy with the Starbucks orders. But
definitely.
Yeah. So if you are near Starbucks, you should definitely be a basic white girl and, you know, join the wagon of girls all around the world getting the PSLs because they are back. I really hope that this fall season in San Antonio and like into the winter is a good one, because this summer has been absurd.
Absurd in which way?
I have never seen so much rain in the summer in Texas ever in my life. Like,
yep.
And this brings me back. We might have to do like a conspiracy theory episode, because this brings me back to the theory that I have that, you know how right now the way the world works, sorry, Chip Basket, to get a little deep at the end of this episode, but right now the way the world works, there's like the north and south hemispheres, right? And their seasons are opposite. So it's fall time. It's like summer going into fall here, but it's like spring going into summer or winter going into spring in Australia. Like, the seasons are opposite. Yeah. I have this theory that because, you know, the way the earth turns on its axis and like global warming and all of the things, all of the things combined, eventually it's going to get where it's opposite. So it's going to be winter on the northern hemisphere during what is traditionally right now our summer months, and it's going to be summertime during our traditional like winter months. Because if you think about it, over the last years, like decade or more, I guess since I've been alive, like the summers have been lasting longer and starting later. Like it hasn't been getting as hot as early, and it hasn't been cooling down in the fall as
soon as
soon as normal. Like everything is starting to like shift. I wish you listeners could see my hand movements right now. Everything is starting to shift like that way, to where I feel it's not going to happen in either one of our lifetimes, or probably not even like my future kids' lifetimes, but eventually it's going to be where it's all flipped. That's my take on that.
I don't care to think that much about it.
Well, yeah.
So I'm not really worried about it, because honestly, I'll be dead before that kind of stuff happens, probably. Not that I don't care about the climate or environment or anything like that, but I just feel like I do my best to keep the environment clean, and that's it.
And if you live on a beach, pick up your trash. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Especially if you are in Corpus and you party at JP Luby Beach.
Or Whitecap. Whitecap.
No, Whitecap is pretty clean. But if you ever party at JP Luby in college and you're a A&M Corpus student, clean up your shit, please. But anyway, I think that's all we have for you this week. Any final closing remarks?
No, ma'am.
All right. Well, this has been the Little Chip Podcast, episode 2. Once again, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook. You can just search up Little Chip Podcast on both of those. Will pop up. Hopefully you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, because hopefully I've figured it out by now. And also make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, Little Chip Podcast. Give us a thumbs up, and we will see you. You will hear from us next week.
Big kiss, little kiss.
Big hug, little hug.